Hello everyone, this is Bruce of Wealth. My name is Edgar. In this channel, I track my progress towards financial independence in hopes of learning and teaching about finances along the way. In this video, I'll be going over why you should be using credit cards for all your payments and purchases, and how using credit cards exclusively allowed me to reach a credit score of over 800. I want to start talking about fear of credit cards. This fear is based on the fear of debt that, for example, for me, is based on my mom's fear of debt. It can be tempting to have a certain amount of money at your disposal that you may not otherwise have. But it doesn't have to be this way. As opposed to loans or other types of debt, credit cards can be used simply as a form of payment, and not an advance of money that you don't have yet. In fact, I only make purchases through my credit cards if I have funds in my checking account to pay the balance on the credit card in full. In this way, I am never in a negative position and left paying interest on purchases. In fact, I got my first credit card about 7 years ago, and I have not paid $1 in interest on it. So probably the biggest benefit that you could get from using a credit card is obviously to increase your credit score. As you see here, my credit score is 826, and like I mentioned before, I haven't used any other type of debt to get this credit score. For example, right here on the key factors impacting your FICO score, you're going to notice on the right hand side it says lack of recent installment loan information. And all that means is that I haven't had a car loan, I don't have a mortgage, and I haven't taken out any student loans that require you to pay for a certain amount of time, right? Keeping that same payment going forward. And I never had that. I've never had that. And regardless, that's probably what dings me and why I don't have a higher credit score than the 826. But at the same time, this is a great tool, right? If you're already at 826, I don't really know how much better your interest rates can get if you have, for example, like an 850 credit score. So the difference at that point is kind of negligible. And if in the future you definitely want to get a car, the car of your dreams, or a car that you just need because of your changing circumstances in life, whether it's a family or anything else that can change in your life, well, you're going to need credit. And this credit card method of only paying for everything with your credit card can definitely help you in that. And this right here, this 826, is proof that the concept works. As well as, for example, the dream of getting a home, and that's something that I want to do as well. Well, paying with your credit card is going to allow you to do that in the future. So I think it's a big deal to just use credit card because it helps you to build credit, and it allows you to make purchases in the future, even though you may not need to make them now. And this is the second point I want to talk about why using credit card to pay for everything can give you a lot of perks. For example, I'll get to the redeem points later in this next part, but first I want to start with the statement credit here in the second point of global entry or TSA pre-check over $100 or $85, right? This is something that you're never going to get if you just pay with cash. You're never going to get these little extra perks that are actually worth money, right? If you are a frequent traveler and if you go internationally a lot, for example, this global entry is going to expedite the process for you or your family. Same thing with the TSA pre-check, probably more for national flights. So this is definitely a huge help for you. And then tap to pay. If you're paying with cash all the time, definitely you're going to come in contact with a lot of money, a lot of other people's germs and things like that. So tapping to pay, I think, it was probably undervalued before the pandemics began. But at this point, I think we can all see the benefit from that. And then next are these kind of insurance type perks that come with paying with credit cards. For example, collision damage waiver for example, if you rent a car with a rental car company, you already have built-in protection just because of the fact that you paid with your credit card, right? You may have some by yourself, by your own insurance, but at the same time, maybe that doesn't cover everything, and this can be used as a secondary type of insurance for any damages, any accidents that can occur. And same thing with travel accidents, right? You're going to be traveling. This is kind of a travel credit card, so the perks are kind of geared towards that. So if you have any type of injury during your flights, during your stay in a different country, this is going to help you out because you never know what the regulations or what the price for any health or medical insurance could be in another country. And then the travel and emergency assistance, things always occur when you're traveling. We already know, for example, that some airlines are canceling flights, or maybe your luggage gets lost, and this has definitely happened to people I've flied with. So do not take this lightly, right? Your luggage can get lost at any time when you're flying, and just having a peace of mind that at least maybe you can get some of that money back is definitely a great assistance. And then your cell phone protection, if you make your cell phone plan payments with for example, a credit card, you have some sort of protection. For example, if it breaks or if it has some malfunctions, the payment with credit card definitely is going to help you out. And all this is just kind of a type of insurance, and it's because the credit card company is kind of going to go bat for you, as opposed to you trying to talk to a company about getting your money back for this or that situation. In fact, it's going to be a business to business situation, right? It's going to be Visa, or it's going to be your bank provider talking to that under company to get you back your money, which is always going to have a higher likelihood of success for those matters. And lastly, I want to talk about my favorite part of paying with your credit card, and this is the fact that you get points for your purchases. Different cards are obviously going to have different payment structures, different point structures. For example, I have a card, for example, for going out, I would say, which is that I get 3x on travel and then 2% back on everything else. So this is probably my main card that I'm using right now. And then I have another one that I've had for a longer period of time, and this one gives me 3x on groceries and 3x on restaurants, which kind of covers a lot of bases there, and is one of the best things that I like about having my credit card. And this statement just right here is just from January 1st of this year all the way to today. And as we can see here on the bottom, I've redeemed 40,000 points, and that basically equates to $400. And basically what I like doing is getting cash back on that. For example, my bank, Navy Federal, doesn't really have those multipliers on their little web portal where you're allowed to buy things. For example, I know, Chase, they get sometimes like a 1.5x on the points, meaning that you kind of have almost like a 50% discount, or less than that, maybe like a 25% discount on any purchases that you make if you buy through their portal, through their website. So while I don't have perhaps those perks, definitely I enjoy having those $400 back, for example, that I've had throughout this year. And again, this is something that you're never going to get while playing with a debit card even, right? Or with cash, no less. And regardless, I think there is always a place for cash. For example, there's a lot of places here in Los Angeles that don't accept cards, just kind of maybe like street vendors or things like that. So it's always nice to keep like a 20 or a 50 of cash in your pocket. But other than that, I mean, I think it's so worthwhile to use your credit card and rack up those points. And for example, I love doing cash back. You might want to do purchases on the portal, or you can even buy travel tickets. You might buy airplane tickets to wherever you want to go, maybe hotel stays. It's just a great perk. That is all for today. I hope that helped clarify why using credit cards can be beneficial to our finances. If you enjoyed the video, please do me a favor and like the video and consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next one.